Hi everyone, my name's Michelle and this is my channel Sewing Bunny. Thank you for joining me in my video today, which is sharing with you some of the makes that I have made March, April time. I'm using that very loosely. Sort of recent-ish makes. And also I just wanted to have a little chat as well, because some of you may have noticed that I haven't been as regular on YouTube as usual. So I just wanted to have a little chat about that. But yes, so before we start, I'll let you know what I'm wearing. This is the Paper Scissors Cloth Galaxy tee in a cotton jersey. So it's really nice sunny day today. So it's really nice being able to wear short sleeves. Okay, so let's start off with, actually some of you may have known that I was on holiday recently. I had a 2-week holiday. I was very fortunate to be able to go to Cape Verde. Beautiful sunshine, lovely hotel. It was really nice. Unfortunately did have a stomach bug when I was out there, which wasn't great, but you know, still had some sunshine, still wasn't at work, so yeah, still a bonus, still good. Okay, so let me start off with some of the things that I have made recently. I haven't got loads, but I will go over probably the one that you guys probably were most interested in because it was in my plans video. Was my Tilly and the Buttons Lyra dress. Now I don't have it with me because I think it's in the wash. I took it on holiday with me, and yeah, I think it's in the wash and it's kind of in the pile of things, and I haven't gone through all of that yet. So I will insert a picture of me wearing the Lyra dress. So I made it specifically for going to the Stitch Festival in March, and I'm so glad that I made that dress for it. It was absolutely perfect, that event, because it had the long sleeves, so it meant that I wasn't too cold. I mean, to be honest, when you're actually in the venue, it was really warm. And I loved the fabric. It was this beautiful sort of green and like sort of spring flower viscose, beautiful quality viscose, really nice and soft. When I was at the Stitch Festival, you know what it's like if you see people when you know you've made things, everyone wants to touch things and everything, and everyone's going, oh, it's so soft. So yeah, it was absolutely beautiful fabric to work with. I got that from Felicity Fabrics a while back, and yeah, overall I really enjoyed making the Lyra. It was really nice instructions to follow. I'd heard that some people might have had slight issues with the sizing, but I made a size 5 because I didn't want to make it too fitted. I liked the idea of making it fitted using the waist tie, but I wanted it to be nice and relaxed sort of on the shoulders. I didn't want it, you know, too much over the bust, and my measurements put me into a size 5 in the Tilly and the Buttons sort of size bracket, so that is what I made, and I think it's absolutely perfect. Very happy with that size. Also, a few people had mentioned that the collar sometimes had been a bit tricky. Now on the pattern it does say to cut the sort of like the collar pieces, like the sort of the inner and outer sort of collar stand, one just, you know, on the standard sort of grain and one on the bias. I didn't cut it that way. I just cut 2 on the grain because I've made a few sort of shirts and collar stands, and I don't think you necessarily need something cut on the bias. I suppose it's maybe helpful if you need to, I guess stretch is the wrong word, but maybe like ease to sort of fit it in, but I found I didn't need to do any of that, so I just cut both of mine on the fold as I would normally, and it was absolutely fine. So yeah, I didn't have any problems with the pattern. Really happy with it. I also did use some beautiful buttons from the Mend It Maker. They were recycled plastic buttons from her eBay shop, and yeah, they're absolutely lovely. I thought they went really nicely with the dress, so overall very happy with that, and I will certainly be making more Lyras. It was my first Lyra, hadn't joined the Lyra club and now I absolutely love that pattern, and yeah, I definitely want to make more. Really enjoyed making that, and yeah, I think it's a lovely dress. So after that, I decided to abandon some of my other plans that I was going to sew for my holiday. I had plans to sew like a little play suit. I had plans to make some trousers, which I did actually cut out, but I never got round to sewing. And that was just because things have just been really busy at the moment. So I didn't get round to doing anything really before my holiday. But what I did make was a Scout tee by Grainline Studio. I do have that with me. I did take this one on holiday as well, and I wore this quite a lot actually. So this is using this beautiful viscose, which is the William Morris Golden Lily design. I love this print. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I love the colours, and I've worn this so much. So the Scout tee is just a very basic woven tee. I love it because it is so basic, but it keeps me interested enough in the pattern because you do use bias binding. So usually I'll kind of maybe use some like the Specky Seamstress sort of ready-made bias binding, but I did decide to actually do my own bias binding using this same fabric. And yeah, it's turned out really, really nicely. Added a little label in there saying finished just in time. I think this was actually one that was given to me by one of my lovely followers from one of the Kylie and the Machine advent calendars a few years back. And I thought that was quite nice. Putting in there the green obviously goes with all the others, and of course I made it just in time for my holiday. So yeah, I really, really like this. It's got a lovely, lovely shape because it fits really nicely over the shoulders, but then it's just nice and loose. That's why I loved it for holiday, because I could just wear it with some shorts or some loose trousers, and it was just nice and floaty and airy. I do love the Scout tee. I think this is my third or fourth one that I've made. Certainly won't be my last, because it's just a lovely, lovely pattern. So yes, really happy with that as well. And then the last thing that I will sort of show you is it's nothing finished, unfortunately. But I did have a friend over in, when was it? It was in April. So one of my friends does sew a little bit, but only sort of very, very basic sort of sewing. And she really wanted to make her daughter a little jersey dress. And she asked if she could have some advice on fabrics and patterns and things. So I invited her round and we had a little sewing day together, which was so much fun. And she made her daughter a dress, just very, very minimal help from me, I do have to say. I just helped her adjust a couple of things on the pattern and a little bit with her fabric, because I think some of her fabric choice was maybe not quite right for the pattern, and I actually had some fabric in my stash that I was more than happy to give to her to help out. And yeah, I think we had a great time. So yeah, she more or less did it all herself. I didn't want to step on her toes or anything, just was there to sort of help out when she needed. So I decided to get going with another lap quilt. And so I managed to get round to doing the top of it. So I haven't finished the actual quilt as such, but I've done the topper. So this is it, using some, again, lovely So Hayley Jane fat quarters. She doesn't do fat quarters in her subscription box anymore, but I still have a whole load in my stash. And I do believe that these came, I think these came as all one set. I know that the little spotty ones and the stripy ones, and I'm not sure if the floral one was in the same set. I can't remember, but I thought that was really, really nice. Pastel-y colours. So some little cat will enjoy that very, very much. So I just need to finish that off, obviously by putting in the backing and the wadding and the binding and everything. So that'll be a nice little project to finish off at some point. So that was everything really from March and April that I made. Obviously not a great deal, and as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, obviously my videos have been a little bit sort of, well, not as regular as they usually are. Usually I bring out one video a week almost without fail, and I've done that since when I started, which was towards the end of 2019. And I'll just be perfectly honest, just at the moment there's just so much going on. So my work is very, very busy at the moment. It's quite intense. We are also moving as well at work. So at the moment we are in one big building in one location, and we are actually splitting departments and things into separate buildings. So I've got a little bit of a hand sort of helping out with things that way. Also, Stuart and I are doing some work on the house as well, which is very sort of DIY. So downstairs we've got our sort of utility room where our sort of, you know, washing machine and fridge and a downstairs loo and everything is. We're trying to redo that because when we got the house, everything was incredibly basic, needed a lot of work, and that area we haven't really sort of got round to, and we thought we need to sort of do that. So if I was to turn the camera around, we've got a lot of things in my sewing room that have kind of been sort of shoved in here just as a temporary measure. Also, now that it is coming up to summer, my other hobby is kicking in, which is gardening. I love May because that's when I can get all excited and buy all my new plants, and all my other sort of plants are coming back and into flower and everything. And yeah, I really enjoy gardening. I get a lot of sort of relaxation from gardening, a lot of enjoyment from it. I don't have a massive garden by any means, and it's mainly just pots and things, but I have so much joy just going around deadheading things, planting new things, seeing how things are going, and just sitting back and enjoying the garden. So yeah, another hobby has sort of come into action. So yeah, I must admit I haven't done, as you can see, a lot of sewing, and I haven't necessarily missed it. I mean, don't get me wrong, you know how much I love sewing, and I will certainly be carrying on, but I don't necessarily have loads of content to share on YouTube because I have taken a bit of a step back. So by no means am I going to disappear. Please don't worry, I'm not going to disappear, but you just may not see as many videos from me as usual. You might get maybe one every 2 or 3 weeks, might do one a week, might be, you know, not very many for the next few weeks. I don't know, but I just kind of want to be honest, just to kind of say, just that's what's going on at the moment. It's just that life in general is incredibly busy, and yeah, sewing has taken a slight back seat, but I certainly will be doing things in the background, but I just might not have a lot to share with you. So I hope that makes sense. So yeah, I will still be sharing things as and when, but just maybe not as regularly. So that's everything for today. I hope you did enjoy the video. Please do give me a thumbs up if you did, and please do subscribe if you haven't already. So until next time, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.